Today on Paranormal Insights, we're going to take a look at parallel universes and the possibility of more than one reality.
And Leta has a question. She wants to know, what is she supposed to do with this past life information?
And we're going to meet with Robert Perala, author and UFO abductee. Today on Paranormal Insights, we're going to look at parallel universes and the possibility of more than one reality.
And we're going to take a question from Leta, who wants to know what to do about her past life information.
And we'll be talking with author and UFO abductee Robert Perala. Linda is a hypnotist with a specialty in past life regression and guided meditation. She also wrote a wonderful new book, The Miracle of Self-Healing.
An award-winning psychic for over 20 years, Joseph Ernest Martin is author of the international bestseller, The Quest Tarot, and recipient of the Visionary Award of Excellence.
You know, the whole idea about parallel universes is really kind of mind-blowing. It's hard to think that the matter we feel around us is so vacuous that another universe could be existing virtually in the same space that we're sitting right now.
Yeah, and the hard thing is, it's hard to prove it, scientifically speaking. We don't really know yet exactly how to prove that. But those of us in the paranormal world believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that not only do we have parallel universes, but we have many parallel universes with completely different realities operating on different timelines. As a past life regressionist, you better believe I believe in parallel universes, because we're hopping around all the time in every session.
The idea of a different universe existing along with ours is an idea that goes back many thousands of years. In recent media, you may have seen a parallel universe in the old series Star Trek, where Spock and Kirk had evil twins. Or you may be watching the newest sci-fi series Fringe, where FBI agent Olivia Dunham can travel between two different parallel universes, and all the trouble that creates. Though this may seem to be in the realm of science fiction, according to modern theorists in quantum theory and luminaries like Stephen Hawking's, parallel universes may be the norm and not the abnormal. In Max Tegmark's research paper, How Did It All Begin?, he explores the idea of where we came from and the real possibility of where parallel universes may be hiding. In the simplest terms, try to imagine that our atoms and electrons are moving and vibrating at amazing speeds within our body, and indeed within everything. There is a lot of empty space in between these very small structures. The energy of these small structures exists as both a particle and a wave of energy, as what appears to be the same thing. We exist within the very narrow vibrational note of energy. Just one note over on the scale could be an entire other universe, vibrating slightly differently from ours. They are different enough to be in their own existence, with their own physical laws and their own states of matter. Think of your old radio dial. If we could just adjust our energy to tune into their vibration, we could enter their universe, or at least see part of their universe from where we are. It may be that there are many thousands of universes all existing right next to each other. And to go further out on that limb, there might be similar but different versions of us in each of those universes. Some people think that we already jump from one parallel universe to another by shifting our primary consciousness. The shift in thought moves us to a universe where everything is the same except for the differences in our new thoughts and the differences in realities based on those thoughts. If your new universe, you may have won the lotto, or your boss is now positive and affirming. Some believe that on occasion when we sleep, we may be moving our consciousness to an alternate universe where we join ourselves in that reality. It seems so completely real that when we awake, we are amazed to find ourselves back home. Thanks to the Hubble telescope, the observable universe is not only infinite, but also, according to scientific statements, 100,000 times more infinite, if that's even possible, than previously thought. It may also be true that there is an infinite number of parallel universes all existing in virtually the same time-space plane right next to us. It's humbling to think that we are not only just a speck on a planet, which is a speck in a galaxy, which is a speck in an infinite universe, but that our universe is also a speck in the amount of infinite parallel universes that may exist right next to us. Breakthroughs that could result from this research could provide infinite energy or space travel without propellant. We can only guess what this could mean, not only to our psyche, but to our understanding of ourselves and our role in this universe. And visionaries from across time, across continents, have been talking about this concept using different words for centuries. Not only that, but you know, popular culture these days has really been bringing this topic up in the mass psyche. And whenever that happens, you know, real things happen. I've asked people when I travel and I'm at different shows, I ask them, have you heard of CERN? Have you heard of the Large Hadron Collider? And they say, no, almost nobody just heard about it. Yet it's the world's largest man-made machine. It is enormous.
And it's been thought since physics began that matter was made of little particles. But according to physicist and author of Parallel Worlds, Michio Kaku, that point of view has changed to where now it's believed that matter is made up of little strings. It's called the superstring theory, or the theory of everything. It's considered a startling idea that unites general relativity, the laws of the large, as in the stars and planets, with quantum mechanics, the laws of the small, such as molecules and subatomic particles. It's a concept of vibrating strands of energy that has long escaped Einstein and the world's most brilliant scientists. But what does this have to do with parallel universes? Everything. Near Geneva, Switzerland, there's a particle accelerator called the Large Hadron Collider. The collider resides underground in a circular tunnel along the border of France and Switzerland. Within this accelerator is a beam of particles that are charged using magnets that are placed within the walls of this massive tube. The energy within the tube is steadily increased, and these particles are put on an intentional collision course with opposing particles. The beams collide at an extremely high rate of energy, and when they collide, the resulting particles, referred to as exotic, are able to be observed. It's at this juncture where it's believed that there just might be evidence of extra dimensions, also known as parallel universes. The idea of parallel universes isn't so new. In 1954, American physicist Hugh Everett was a Princeton University doctoral candidate. His idea was that parallel universes exist, actually branching off from ours. In turn, our universe is branched off of others. Within these universes, our life may have a different scenario working. We may be married in one universe and not in another. There may be different outcomes to events, such as World Series of Baseball, or even wars. In other universes, we may not exist as humans, and yet extinct species on Earth may continue to exist elsewhere in another universe. And this is just one of many ideas poised. And then there's the idea of connecting to these other universes. How do we visit them? Where is the gateway or portal from our universe to another? And how does that work, taking into consideration space-time? These theories are fantastic, the kind of theories that science fiction movies are made of. Yet it's being studied and researched by the most brilliant of scientists. Something to keep in mind, according to Max Tegmark, physics professor from MIT, is that it wasn't so long ago that we only thought there was one galaxy. Now, we know there are billions of galaxies. The thing is that what they're trying to do with this collider that's so important, and it's important because it needs to be proven scientifically before the scientific community really pulls it in and acknowledges it. But when those, the energy collides, what's happening to those particles is they're flying so fast and so far that they're thinking, they haven't quite proven it yet, but they're thinking that they create another universe. It's very much like the Big Bang theory of how our universe began. Now that's exciting stuff.
Well, there's a lot of popular movies out now too. There's a movie people have been seeing called Another Earth, where this other Earth kind of comes, and it kind of talks in a way about like this parallel existence. I find it fascinating because I think our consciousness isn't really bound by the material plane that we're in right now. And so I hold the idea that it is really possible to maybe reality jump, maybe for a while or a little while, and see some of these parallel but very close to us universes that exist.
And what's so cool about the jumping part of it is that we can jump into another universe and time doesn't exist in that universe. So we could be gone in 20 minutes, our time here, but be there for much, much longer. It's such an interesting concept, and it does tend to boggle the mind a little bit when you start thinking about the idea like an album, like the old albums where you have different cuts of the record, that you could be in one and something's going on right next to you and something's going on right next to that. It's easier to get a visual, I think, going that way.
And Whitley Strieber, when he's been talking about his experiences, and of course he's been famous because of his book Communion, he was sharing an experience where he was driving down the freeway and there was a parallel shift or reality shift where all of a sudden everything around him was not the Earth anymore. It was a different place. He didn't just shift, the person in the car with him shifted also.
Oh, that's pretty special. That's pretty special when that happens, when you get that kind of a shift. You know, there's so many examples that so many people have of experiencing a different reality than what we know.
What can be made from these kind of discoveries is going to, I think, alter every aspect of our life on this planet. I do hold the belief that we've already made discoveries that aren't known to us yet. Discoveries by our government that they've kept private or secret for whatever reason. And now with this huge machine that they have out there banging together particles to see what happens, you know that they are looking for a lot more than just the boson-Higgs particle, the God particle. They're looking for ways to enhance our existence now on this planet in this universe.
Yes, and you almost wonder if they're going to let all those experiments go all the way through, because once we find out, there's no turning back and there will be no more secrets. And now we're going to have a moment with Robert Perala, UFO researcher and author.
We're here right now at the New Living Expo, one of the largest shows of the year on the West Coast. And I'm here with an amazing author, Robert Perala. Robert Perala has been on AM Coast to Coast, and he's written two wonderful books, The Divine Architect and The Divine Blueprint, which have been in circulation and selling literally thousands and thousands of copies. I've read actually both of Robert's books. I got to tell you, they're amazing, but the man himself is going to amaze you. Robert, tell us about your work, tell us about what you're doing.
Well, really it's the culmination of 30 years in the esoteric sciences, metaphysics, spirituality, a purpose-driven life. There's a lot of personal growth, anecdotes for living. In my presentation, which will be today, I'm looking at extraterrestrials, myths and misconceptions about what they are and what they're not. We'll also look at what is happening to the paradigm as far as a shift in consciousness, a shift in a general understanding of what's happening to the physical reality. So I've been a student of the physical reality and the subtle realities just beyond that, and I'm thrilled to be here with you, Joseph.
Well, Robert, I got to ask you, because of the extraterrestrial information that you get and that you've been exposed to, what is happening these days? It seems like all sorts of countries are disclosing new government videos.
It's true. It's a remarkable time that we're living in the sense that never before have we seen so many sightings, so many of the general public coming out and saying, I've seen something I can't explain, I've experienced something. More than ever before, we're seeing things appear in people's homes, apparitions, lighted spheres. You might say the ethers are becoming very thin. This is the subtle layers in the, that lay invisibly in the material world. and those are becoming thinner, and because they do, and because the Earth is rising into what would be basically an ascension process, it allows people to experience something in the unseen. You might say the Bible, the Gita, the Sanskrit, and the Torah have all kind of pointed to this window, the most incredible time where there's not only a shift in awareness, but the properties around that are what's exciting, that we're witnessing that we're not just living isolated on the Earth itself in the material world, but we're part of a vast network that's remarkable, incredible, and the general public now is getting that. You're no longer alone.
Now, I know like some people may be watching this and they all get like a little nervous about the whole idea of like extraterrestrials or flying saucers, but you have had some interesting contact personally yourself. Do you want to mention that?
Yeah, I do. Well, you know, it really started for me when I was a young boy. I had a phenomena that followed me since I was 7 years old. This is the phenomena of apparitions. These are men and women who are like you and I, who have perhaps benefited from greater time and greater knowledge, and at one time even lived on the Earth, and then go through the natural transition, move on from the material plane, go into the next level, and I would witness that. And then in 1977, a long time ago, I witnessed, basically I was taken off the planet, literally, and taken aboard a ship. And when I got back, I got a heck of a sunburn, and I was soaked in something like a honey or oil-like material. And it caused me to lock myself in my apartment for 3 months and try to understand, what was this? How could this happen? Now, here in the year 2012, we're still searching that out in my lectures. How does this happen, not only to me, but how does it happen to everyone else, that this can even take place?
Now, you know, you just said this so casually, but people are listening to you talking. And when you said, well, you know, I just happened to be taken up in a ship, that had to be one of the most incredible, shocking, amazing experiences ever. I know you said you stayed in your room for 3 days to process it, but honestly, how do you process something like that?
You know, the mind doesn't really have room for that. You know, when something like, you know, you don't process it, you sort of grow into it over a period of time. I didn't want to tell anybody that anything like this happened, because I didn't think anybody would even believe me. And I kept it as a secret for the first 3 months. I just was in a state of shock, and I eventually made my way to some other people that were into metaphysics. Meta meaning beyond, and physics meaning beyond the physical reality as we know it, and began to tell me that this is a phenomenon that's been going on for a long time. So yeah, it's quite shocking, and I grow each day. Each day I talk to my audience. I grow, they grow, we learn about what this is together, and you can't believe the darndest things I hear in my lectures.
Now, Robert's going to be speaking actually tonight at the New Living Expo in just a little bit. Now, I don't want you to like to give away a big spoiler, but is there anything you want to share with the people who are going to be watching this about you're going to be saying later?
You know, we can look at the phenomena of the spacecrafts, extraterrestrials, interaction with those that are in the unseen, the esoteric realms, etc. I think if I had something that I really wanted to impart to them, would be, at this time is probably the most important time to be extremely grounded, live in integrity, look at the virtues within yourself: kindness, compassion, tolerance, understanding, forgiveness, unconditional love. Because the ethers are so thin now, and time is speeding up, and what you put out comes back. Live a purpose-driven life. Be excited and follow your passion more than anything else. Follow your passion and live in integrity. Make that connection with yourself, and yes, connect with God.
I have to tell you, I've known Robert for many years, and everything he just said is how he actually lives every single day. This is one impressive man. Now, Robert, people are going to watch this. They're going to say, how can I find out more about your books or about you? What's an easy way to contact you?
Hey, see me on my website, robertperala.com. It's spelled P-E-R-A-L-A. You can look up my book, Divine Architect or Divine Blueprint. And we were very happy, Tony Stubbs and I, my mentor, were to present an all-inclusive book that includes life before birth, life after death, why are we here, the origin of the soul, the unseen committees that follow us and speak to us in the unseen. And for lost loved ones, and those of you that have a lost loved one, you will see them again.
You've got to watch this guy because his resume list is long. Everywhere he goes, everything he does. This is one amazing man, and I got to tell you, I'm lucky to call him a friend of mine. Robert, thank you so much.
Thanks, Joseph. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate everything.
Leta's question is an important one. She wants to know what to do with the information that she gained from a past life regression.
Hello, Joseph and Linda. My question is about past life regression. Through a past experience, I gained some insight into myself, and I'm just not sure where to take that now. What do I do with that information? It was very moving. It's very hard for me to talk about it because I was in two places at once. It was amazing. I enjoyed the process, but I really don't know what to do with it. And I could use some help with that.
Thank you, Leta, so much for asking that question. You know, there's a lot of energy in that question. There's a lot happening in that question. I've asked my guides to come in. I've asked your guides to come in. Let's see what they want to tell you about this really kind of mind-blowing experience that you have and the meaning it could have for you. I'm actually not going to go into the experience you had per se, but I want to talk about the meaning of this experience and what it actually means for you and possibly what you may choose to gain from this or glean from this. The first thing I want to tell you is your energy is multidimensional anyway, so I'm not very surprised that you had an experience where you were two places at once. I want to tell you also that I get that this lifetime for you is going to be filled with a lot more changes and a lot more experiences like this. It's sometimes hard to integrate these experiences into who we are because it makes us feel very different from other people or possibly as though we're going crazy. I want to assure you that I feel from everything I'm getting from your guides that you are not going crazy. When you have an experience like this, it's normal to question one's own reality and even one's own sanity. I would like you to start giving yourself positive messages about this experience to you, because right now I feel you're holding energy about this inside of you that's actually kind of negative or hurtful. 2013 is really a new beginning year for you, and there's going to be a lot of growth and a lot of new excitement. This experience you had is meant to set you up for positive emotional growth, especially going into next year. This year and 2013, I would like to see you putting your energy and attention on you, not being altruistic or where other people are concerned, giving away your energy or attention. This is your time to figure you out, to figure out your place, your energy, and who you are. I want to tell you too that I really feel that you have an extraterrestrial connection happening with you, and that the energy I see flowing into you isn't just terrestrial or from the earth, but actually from the universe and even extraterrestrial. Please know that this is okay. We're meant to have these feelings and experiences. Most people just block them out. As you integrate this into who you are through knowledge, self-examination, and I'm going to actually tell you, I think you should see a good teacher or a good a past life regressionist or a hypnotic therapist to help you with this. I think all of this is going to be helpful for you as you go forward. Integrate this experience into yourself. You were meant to have it. This was your time, and the timing is perfect. You are living in the time of change, and this is meant to change you for the better in a good way. Don't fret. This is all good. Good luck.
Having a past life regression is an amazing experience. And what it sounds like to me is that when you had yours, you didn't leave with your newfound information being applied to your current life situation. Let's see if we can make some sense out of it for you. Think about the insight you said that you gained for yourself. That insight will mirror a current life situation or challenge for you. It shows what happened in the past life to bring you an understanding of your life now. Reflect on what your emotional and physical state was at the time of your past life regression. That's going to expose the connection from the past life experience to the current life challenges. For example, if in the past life you saw yourself as an aristocrat with great wealth and power, and let's say you wielded that power without consideration for other people's feelings or needs, You just might come into this life with financial issues, having people in a higher position taking advantage of you, both monetarily and emotionally. Or let's say you've been dealing with depression and an around-the-clock sadness that you seem to have come into this life with. A past life peak might just show you where you were emotionally devastated in a past life. You may see how you never overcame that devastation and left that life sad, depressed, only to arrive into this life with the same exact issue. Why does this happen? To assist us in overcoming adversity, to help us gain emotional wisdom by overcoming the negativity of the issue we were faced with. And how do you heal after attaining this information? By recognizing the reason for it and making a conscious decision to let it go. Now, to address the reason you felt like you were in two places at once is because you were conscious in this life while stepping into your past life. You actually were in two places at once. We're simply not used to this wonderful process. And it certainly is an awesome feeling. The thing is, the soul wants to heal. As soon as you relax enough to allow it to, it will take you to the lifetimes that hold the key on healing in this life, both physically and emotionally. I think Leta has a lot of information now to help her out with what's going on. I feel kind of bad that she had a situation where she had a regression and she walked away without kind of putting the bow on the package.
And this growth for her is going to be helping her in ways she can't even know right now. This is actually, I believe, going to be a positive experience.
Yes, I think in the end, it is the greatest adversities, is it not, that turn out to be our best teachers.
We want to answer your questions and address your topics. If you have questions you want answered, please let us know. If you have topics you'd like us to look into, we're easy to find. You can find me at questtarot.com or Joseph at questtarot.com.
And you can find me at my website, sightforhealing.com, and join me on my internet radio show, The Open Door, on ScepterRadioNetwork.com. You can view this program on Comcast Channel 17 in Sacramento, California, and at accesssacramento.org. And don't forget to watch our companion show with Donna Wilberg, Paranormal Connections.
We're also easy to find on Facebook, Vimeo, and YouTube. Just search for Joseph Ernest Martin, Linda Potter, or the show title, Paranormal Insights. And you can also see our new weekly series, The Magic Minute, every Wednesday on Vimeo and YouTube, where you learn easy-to-use everyday magic to make your life better, because it only takes a moment to make magic.
We want to hear from you, so we can share our paranormal insights and answers from beyond the ordinary.